Welcome to TJ's Throwbacks, the series where I sit down with guests as we recall through all the highs and lows of their draft league career. For episode 2, I'm glad to say that I'm joined by the man whose accolades know no bounds. That is Mr. King L5, the founder of DPL, and it's safe to say that he has one hell of a career when it comes to tours, both from an individual and a team perspective. If you guys are enjoying the series, please do let me know by leaving a like, subscribing, and letting me know what you guys want to see next, as well as what guests you want to see next. And without further ado, let the throwback begin. How's it going, guys? And welcome back to episode 2 of TJ's Throwbacks. Yes, we're bringing this series back. And I'm delighted to say that I'm joined by a man whose accolades know no bounds when it comes to draft league. He sent me this list that is honestly insane. So this man's tournament career includes wins in March Madness, Brawl for All, Cash Gang, won an Oris Cup, but the only person that's not Rye to have done that, and then has a bunch of Team Tour wins as well, which I'm sure we're going to get into as the day goes on. So I'm delighted to say that I'm joined by Mr. I stream on a Tuesday and I do incredibly well from just shit posting over Team Tour videos, and I do some music on the side. Delighted to say I'm joined by Mr. King L5 to throw it back. How's it going, man?
Hello and welcome, Draft League fans. Decided to join TJ for this one. Should be a pretty good time. And yeah, I do have a couple of rings in my time.
Just a couple. And we're also trying something different with this series. We're actually incorporating face cam. So let me know what you guys think of kind of the layout here that I've figured out. I'll see what I've done with it.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say. So I guess the simple question to start off here is, what got you into draft, Mr. King?
Mr. Joey Pokey-Aim, and the what exactly was it? It was there was a U somewhere in that acronym, and it was the one where you did
UCL.
3 OUs, 3 UUs, 3 RUs, and then 3 NUs.
Yeah.
And that was the draft, and
UCL.
I loved that. Yeah, that's the one. So I was like, oh, that's so cool. I want to do that. So I was searching for any league that did those rule sets instead of like the tiers, like the 180 point. I wasn't interested in that one at the time,
Yeah. But you knew what GBA and stuff was, right? Or was it just UCL?
I think it was just UCL that I really knew about. But then I found a website that hosted a bunch of these. What was it called? GBA something in the website. But anyways, I found my first league ever, which was the SCL, and that died week 2. Okay, so we're off to a good start.
Okay.
And then
standard experience.
And then I joined a league called JBA, and this one does not die in the first 2 weeks. This one's actually where I met Blue, Money Guy, Dougal, a bunch of other people from way back in the day, and some of them they still play today. From there, I was introduced to some more people. The circle grows, and eventually I start learning about these tournaments, and I'm starting to get pretty good at the game. I was already okay at Pokemon, but learning the draft format. And so I start going into these tournaments, right? The TTM tours are the main ones. Summer Showdown, March Madness every year. And I start doing pretty well in these. There was a stretch where I didn't finish outside top 8 for a year and a half. Or 2 years or something like that. It was actually a really good time in my tournament career individually. And so I finally ended up winning one of those in 2018, and this is the replay from the finals versus II.
Yes.
And so obviously a worthy opponent, also a dinosaur like myself. And this is all the way back in Gen 7. This is early Gen 7 too.
Yeah, the series is called Throwbacks. We're all going to be dinosaurs, realistically, so you don't need to elaborate on that point.
Yeah, no, but this is someone who's also very relevant today, so it's cool.
Oh, for sure. I also find it so cool that it was, Blue, Money Guy, all you guys who went on to do so much together and kind of came up at a very similar time, all got to a very high level, and just your second league ever. That's insane.
Yeah.
Like, that's actually nuts when you think about it.
Well, there's many stories like it,
How was your
you know,
first draft league game?
with these origin stories.
Oh, there is. There's a lot
But
of
okay.
weird, just kind of crossovers between people.
Yeah.
But yeah, how was your first ever draft game?
My first ever draft game is actually on my channel. I uploaded it. And
Wow.
it was really bad looking back on it. So the only thing that I super remember is that I played Azard X and it completely 6-0'd me, and the only counterplay that I had on my entire build was a Focus Sash Dugtrio, and if I ever lost my Sash for any reason, I would just lose to a DD Zard. It OHKO'd my entire team. But I won, because I kept my Focus Sash. But like, that's an example of, we were not good at the game back then. But, yeah.
Yeah. Zardex in those days just murdered everybody.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like, but no, for sure. So let's hop into this first game here. But before we do that, in case you guys don't know, L5 does have a channel. He streams sometimes, uploads even less times. And the most popular video on his channel is still trying to fix an emulator, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, before school one day, I was like, okay, I figured out how to fix this thing crashing all the time. I'm sure other people would want to know. So I just made a video in like 5 minutes, like including editing, and I just uploaded it when I went to school. And then now it's my most viewed video by a pretty far shot.
Wow.
Yep.
100k views later,
Yeah.
5 minutes. Wow.
I got a decent amount of money
Okay,
from that
let's
too.
get back to
you know? That was back when
yeah, true. That's your
they gave ad
that's your
revenue to
monetized.
everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, good point. Actually, damn.
But anyways,
This is not the series where we go
Yeah, yeah.
asking about your YouTube monetization,
So-
how much money you've made, because that's not the place. So let's get back
Yeah.
to this. So the first game you have here is, as you've elaborated, TTM March Madness 2018, the finals of that, and against II, who, safe to say, has been around just as long as the two of us and is an incredibly high caliber player. You did spoil this game already, but you know,
well,
I'd be kind of
I'm not
surprised
going to
if
send in
anyone
my
comes into
losses,
this
you know?
list with. Yeah, exactly. I'd be very surprised if anyone sends in games of, oh, I lost this one. I got my ass whooped. So, spoilers, I think you're going to see wins in this series.
Yeah.
So yeah, do you just kind of want to talk about your process going into this finals?
Sure,
and,
sure.
Like, just the event in general,
So,
your team?
back in
Go
the
ahead.
day, this was like kind of my jam, right? The Clefable, Toxapex, Ferrothorn. So I would always draft these like
Yes.
fat teams, and my ground type would always be either Lanotea or Crocodile. I'd have a fast Mega, usually Manectric or Pidgeot or something like that. And then a Latios. I loved Latios back in the day. One of my favorite Z users at the time. So like this kind of team really, what's the word? Like representative of my teams in general at the time. I would just spam this. And basically, at the time, nobody thought Toxapex was good. People like hated on Rock's Clefable. Like they thought, oh, why not just win the game with Calm Mind, you know? But this entire tournament, I was like kind of memeing in the chat, being like, Pex is the top one water, and Stealth Arc Clefable is broken and always gets them up. Like, I just made some bits. Because it's a live
I
tournament.
do remember
I was
these
just having fun with
narratives.
it.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Yeah, as you should. And then, yeah, we might as well just hop into this game and
Sure.
see. Also mad that, like, this was the era of why Ferrothorn stayed at, like, 16 points for years. I basically solely blame you,
I used it a lot, man.
just in terms of... You used it
Like,
so much.
we drafted Ferrothorn.
It was ridiculous.
We drafted Ferrothorn in DWL this season in ORAS, and I just know all of the Ferro calcs in the back of my head. I know there's a spread that can like always trade into Mega Gallade with like always kill it after a CC drop, and this is the investment you need. You live a +2 CC, like, and then I know versus Gardevoir you need Max Svidef Akka to avoid 2-hit KO. You can't do anything else. But like, yeah, I know Ferrothorn. It's always fun for me to use.
Oh, I think everyone has that mon that just has like comfort counts.
Volcarona as well. Like
funnily
back in the
enough,
day, I was the Volcarona king.
Yeah.
But we can go into this.
And then other people try. Yeah, might as well.
Turn one, by
So,
the way.
we'll hop into this game.
Turn one, by the way.
Yeah. So there's a Toxapex and there's a Mamoswine. You try to get cute to avoid rocks, and you die. Toxapex is the best water, guys.
Yes.
We told
So
ya.
and the chat goes wild, you know.
Yes. Because this is 2018 and nobody has anything better to do.
Dude.
This is before team tours really
Yeah,
existed.
but I love this shit. Like, all the chat going wild is so funny to me. And like, to defend myself a little bit, Mamo's the only rocker it leads off versus Pex. I mean,
The logic's
it can
not
click
the
rocks,
worst.
you know.
So you played around this, yeah. So you got the Manectric in, you got it Mega'd, you got the Snorlax weakened, and Roxclef did its thing.
Oh my god,
Wonderful.
it's broken.
So, yeah, you go Latios and
Yeah.
take a Toxic to the face.
But at this
which
point,
is fine.
obviously, I'm starting the game down 5-6. I have to make some plays, so I get some doubles to get my hazards up. Here, I double crook on the Doublade, and then I reveal the Intimidate Scarf, which is something he wasn't expecting. So I lure in the Torn,
and get the 2-shot.
and now
on the Z
all of a
Torn,
sudden the game's
and
actually
that is
super
huge.
favorable for me.
Oh, 100%, because especially when that happens.
Yeah.
And missing Zen Headbutt, and now the Glade's at 25, hasn't done anything. I think this was him trying to call you going Ferrothorn and killing him with
He was trying to call
Iron
the
Bar's
Scarf
Monkey Helmet.
Crocodile coming in with foul play.
Or that too. Yeah, both worked, but didn't quite work out. Ice Crash does 44 from a Life Orb Mammoth, but
Yeah.
flinches, doing Mamoswine things.
So my Clefable died
And
either way,
then
but
he
obviously
keeps-
his Gallade has to go down now.
Yeah. Yeah. So you get the Manectric in, which is looking like a huge threat at this point. He just gives up the Mamoswine to the Hidden Power, as he goes Snorlax here. Is he the Gen 7 Classic? No! He was not Super Berry, but does live T-Bolt. Tries to pursue calling the Volt Switch, gets the 50-50 wrong, and at this point you are completely out of control. You can go Crocodile here basically for free,
Yep.
because you've seen this Roserade try to click Toxic into your Latios earlier.
Force the Rose in.
Click Synth
I know
here,
it's a
just trying to take
defensive
the
Rose, so I
knockoff.
can go Lottie. Force a Trick here to clean up the endgame.
Yeah. And the game's done at this point, because you can just go Ferrothorn, take the damage, and you in fact were not Rocky Helmet, as he goes Roserade, but at this point you can just spike up again, and Gyro Ball is doing too much to this thing. With him revealed to be defensive, he's less likely to be HP Fire, and should just be an easy enough cleanup job.
Yeah.
As Gyro Ball is doing too much for Synthesis.
I'm pretty sure this Pharaoh is
Sit
Choppleberry,
here
given
for a
that
bit.
there's a Gallade on the other side. But yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And you just go Latios because you're like, I'm sick and tired of this shit. And dash. Roserade's back at full. But at this point, like, I is just fighting a losing battle because this thing is too chipped. Psyshock doesn't quite kill. Do you take the Shadow Sneak?
Of course
No,
not.
Why would you?
Of course not. That's my boy Pharaoh's job.
Exactly. And yeah. Get another layer spikes
free
up
spike.
for good measure. That is... Yeah. As it turns out he did have HP Fire the entire time. And just Latios, Psyshock, GG. And that won you March Madness 2018.
Yeah.
Which, as it turned out, the final March Madness before TTM didn't quite come to fruition
No, that's not true.
in terms of later seasons.
K-Crick won the following March Madness.
I thought he won Summer Showdown,
I think
and then everything was done by 2018.
maybe
No?
it was Money Guy who won the next March Madness. I know the next two winners were Money Guy
yes.
and K-Crick.
Oh,
At least I'm pretty sure.
yes, because money won because that
So I know
was
there was
the Bronze
at least
finals,
one
right?
more Summer Showdown.
Yeah,
Yeah. With
there was at
no
least
flying resist versus Torn, but the Torn got 0 kills because it's Bronson.
Yes.
Shout out.
yeah.
No flame.
God,
No
yeah,
flame.
I do remember. I remember that game. I just couldn't remember what year that was in.
That was directly
But
after me.
No, like Yeah, no, TTM just as an event was one of the biggest tours of the time because it was one of the few events every year that brought everyone together. And, you know, in fairness to Jolt and Sticks, they were fairly well respected at the time. The less said about them now, the better, given all the GBA controversies. But no, I think
Yeah.
was like obviously, yeah. So like obviously at the time when you have this, you were also involved in leagues such as NPL and LD at the time. So like, how was this in terms of a stature of a win?
This was
kind of compared to what you would have done at this point.
Basically, by winning March Madness, like a big TTM tour, I was able to basically just join whatever league I wanted at the time. The only ones that were like a little bit more selective were LD and Hive. And we could talk about those in a little bit.
Yes.
But basically, after this, I apply somewhere, I get the top division every time because they're like, ooh, that guy won a TTM tour. That's a big deal. Yeah.
Exactly.
Everyone cares about this. So after this, I shot up into like relevancy and like never really went away. So this is like one of the more defining parts of my career.
Yeah. And to be fair, this is a year before you did kind of the other defining thing, which we'll get into a little later as well. But there is one more big solo tour before this, and that was Brawl for All, which was kind of probably the second biggest after TTM. And yet again, we see another Gen 7 Clefable. Did it click Stealth Rock just as often?
I think it did, right? You're looking at this. Who is the other rocker? I remember I had a Snorlax on this team as well. And I played a lot of notable players in this tournament. I was looking through the replays for this thing, and I saw in this tour I played people like Dougal. I played Wombo. I played a bunch of really good players in this run. So this one was great. And in the finals, I'm up against Crew Jack. Now a lot of people in this day and age do not know Crew Jack. And what does the crew stand for?
They're too young, man.
Crusader.
Crusaders, right? Baby!
And for a little bit of a history lesson, Draft Premier League, the team tour that I run, we're going into our 10th season pretty soon. But this was all the way back in Season 2, I believe. Season 2...
Season 1.
Well, actually. Season 1 and 2.
It's early March 29th.
It was both seasons, actually.
Yeah, well, you had them in both of them, yeah.
We drafted this guy called Jack, right? And, you know, Jack's a pretty common name, so he actually ended up changing his name to Crew Jack for, like, the entirety of, like, the next, 6 years? So,
yeah. Because
but this was, like, my first real, like,
another
successful scout.
Yeah, you've had quite a few since then, which
Yeah.
I think if we went and listened to them all, this would actually be 2 hours long.
Yeah, but this was...
But the big thing, of course, as well, like you said, so this was just right on the coattails of DPL, and just, that was such a massive success this event. And then you go into this, and you still show that you have it with your clefs and your fast megas, and yeah, you get into finals here against, you know, who was the second best Jack in draft at the time. So, shout out to Jacko, my guy. But yeah, we should probably hop in.
Yeah, so you say...
Unless you have anything else you want to say about this.
You say fast megas. This is a Mega Venusaur, unfortunately. I hate to break it to you.
Oh, yeah, this is regular era. Yeah. This is Z-Captain era,
yes,
isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, it is. And you're going to see it in this game.
Oh, yes.
But a little bit more about Crew Jack. This was, like, my first successful scout of, like, my captaining and, like, you know, start trying to develop players, like, who are relatively unknown. So it's cool that I was able to meet him here in the finals. But, yeah, we can go ahead and start now.
Yeah, might as well. So, we get into this game. You lead Hydreigon, as Jet leads Lop, and you're obviously going to go into your Rocky Helmet Psychic
Of course.
thing, as he doubles, not wanting to take the helmet from the Rocky Helmet Psychic thing. So, you click Knock, and as we see, it looks like a Mega Aerodactyl, right? You get rocks up,
now you're going to see...
we see Z, Inferno Overdrive,
an unnerve.
And so Jack was
his
Akka here. Yes. Getting the one-shot because of the unnerve through Akka, and Z Aerodactyl putting in the finest. He goes Mamo here, you go Celesteela because it's free. This one clicks rocks, there's no magic coat in this finals, unfortunately. And free lead seed, except it misses. So you decide, I'm going to take it anyways, and take it overheat to phase.
I really wanted that leech seed, man.
Everyone did these days. Because all you want to do is click Leech Protect and just profit, so... You know, Celesteela's at 62, that can check Mamo later. You get burnt now as you try to call the Volt Switch, which, fair. This is what Celesteelers did. They spammed Leech Seed, and still do. The Volt is a grand total of 19. Jack goes and Drapion, and there's another Leech Seed.
Yeah, Celestial had what we call...
yeah, it just kind of feels like...
what we call the Money Guy Special, which is exactly enough Spadef to sub on their bulky water, and then you just run sub, Leech, and then 2 attacks. And you really bully the bulky
sub, Leech,
water.
Protect, and whatever stab is required.
He ran that so often.
Yeah.
No. It was sub, Leech, Toxic, and Mono Attack. That was the Money Guy special. He spammed that so much.
Yeah.
To great success too. But you're gonna see a really cool Drapion
sure.
on the set. Able to trap and taunt my Venusaur down.
Yeah, and Super Berry, just as you thought you might be able to 1v1 it. And at this point, your Venusaur is dead, which makes Lop a little bit scarier. But aside from that, didn't really achieve a ton into the rest of Jack's team here, so not the worst. But, you're still in a decent enough position, but cool bring by Jack. We see the Demon come back in, as Stone Age does not kill, and Knockoff doesn't either. Shout out Zerodactyl. And now you click Roost, because you can.
Yep.
Except Stone Age misses. Why did you keep roosting, man?
I didn't want to get
He gets
earthquaked or
bailed
something. I
because
don't know.
Jack clicked Taunt. Yeah.
I just work here.
You just work here. Yeah. Ice Crest is 36 as you click Barrier.
Now you're gonna see a relic of the
Kyrie's gonna
past
go to
here.
Latios. Oh yes, I was gonna get into this. So he clicks Calm Mind as you click Baton Pass. Where did the defense boost go?
Unfortunately, replays are a little bit bugged on Baton Pass boosts, but this Hydreigon is boosted defense, so like an Ice Shard is not really able to revenge this.
Yeah, exactly. So these were the days where Baton Pass was allowed. Some variations you saw Baton Pass was allowed completely. And
You
those
just
were the
can't
leagues where you
speed
saw like
pass, I think.
go round 2. Yeah, or you had no speed pass, which I think was kind of the main thing for these tours because nobody liked dealing with Baton Pass cheese, and still don't. So you go Hydreigon that clearly has a defense boost but doesn't, and Scarf Draco picks it off. So he goes Lop because Mamo's not really going to achieve anything, and you just go back into Rocky Helmet Psychic Guy, which was the norm. You see Work Up. Return does 2-shot, but do you care? No, because Psychic kills. Masharna, showing why this is 2019, because I don't think I've seen a Masharna getting used ever since.
Yeah, I've actually seen Masharna is 1 point on the SD boards, and I'm like, is it really that bad? Like, surely that's some good value to be found.
It did lose some stuff in like Gen 8. Didn't
Sure,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, but it's poor man's Chimecho these days. It doesn't get unique heal bill. So you get Scarf Hydreigon in, it did live the Ice Shard, and Dark Pulse is just going to clean up the game, and that is your second individual tour title in a year, which is pretty good going.
So back then, this is kind of the era where like, like the TTM YouTube channel, they did a like top 30 Draft League player stream, or not stream, but video. And off the back of these wins and the strong performance that I've done in the other events, they ranked me at tied 2nd place. So that was good for my ego. I loved that.
Yeah, that would honestly be such an ego stroke, especially because like this is 2019, where I think everyone just accepted that Gypsy was the absolute GOAT and was probably never going to be topped until he took a break.
He was way up there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, everything he touched, he just won. It was honestly insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was yourself and Techno. No, not that Techno or the other Techno.
Now we're in 2019.
Yeah.
Now we're in 2019. This is about after the 2nd season of DPL at this point. Or no, this is like in the middle of it.
Season 1. Yeah, this is still, because Season 1 was late 2018. It was auctioned. Yeah. Season 1 would have just wrapped up.
Yeah. So then we fast forward a few years, and by a few years I mean one, right? But in 2020,
and
I had
I'm gonna give...
probably the most career-defining season that I've had, and
yes.
so this is Draft Premier League Season 4. Now, fortunately, I was able to upload all of these as like a movie before Zeril just stepped on his keyboard and deleted all of these replays. So
yeah, I was gonna get into that.
yeah,
So.
Unfortunately for a lot of this series that you're doing, most of the replays that people care about, maybe not most of them, but a lot of them are just gone. So we're able to see a little bit of a peek into the past, you know, with this video.
An ancient relic, shall we say. No, to be fair, it is a really unfortunate thing that we had that situation, so there is about 3 years of fairly iconic replays just gone.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
sucks. Like, I know you thought initially that there was going to be games of yours that were not going to be, you know, there anymore. Do you have any off the top of your head that you're like, I know that was a good game and I would have shown it if the replay still existed?
Not really anything from myself, but then you think of like the DPL Season 6 finals. It's like, God, I really want to watch that whole series back.
Oh, yeah.
But now it's just
not there.
just folklore at this point, you know?
Yeah. So for those that don't know, it is DPL Seasons 4, 5, and 6 are all gone?
It's actually
Correct?
more than that, I think.
Or is it 3 as well?
Oh, I'm not actually 100% sure.
Yeah. 1 and 2 are still standing from what I remember. Up to 6 is definitely gone.
Yeah. Well,
I
either
just
way.
don't know if 3 is dead.
Either way.
Yeah. No, it is one of those unfortunate things, and screw you, Zarel, even though, you know, we know you tried, but this was fairly annoying. So, we get into DPL Season 4, and this was a DPL season that was honestly one of the most interesting, because you were here on Tangang, a team that was famously shat on by he who shall not be named,
Yep.
into bodying their asses week 1. And we get into this being semi-finals after already in this season you had lucked my ass, which
Bang!
still don't forgive you. But
Hey, you got me back in DCL, right?
I did get you back. You still won that series. You won both series. No, actually, because I won the first series, but you won the That's funny.
Yeah.
So we get into this semi-finals game against a certain Skyhorse Tamer, and this was Sky's breakout DPL. He was in DPL Season 3. Triggervi did make finals, but it was kind of bit par. He got some games. But it was this team that really put him on the map, being Spectre, Urshifu Single Strike, Hail.
Yes.
And everyone thought that Arctazult became the GOAT. But the real reason this was a problem was, you know, there's 2 mons here that I don't even think lasted. They're no longer in the metagame.
Yeah, yeah.
And I wonder why.
So, Spectrier was banned a few years ago, just for the health of the tier, honestly. And Single Striker Shifu was banned because it's just too good, you know? So, I'm playing against 2 now Ubers, basically, and this Hail Core was actually kind of demon, because Arctazult, right? So strong with Bolt Beam Stab, and then you pair that with Aurora Veil, right? It's really hard to stop. And then you might think, oh, I have this solved with the Seismitoad. It gets freeze dry, you know? So it's a little bit tough to switch into. And when you have to deal with that like fast Slush Rush breaker, you have the fast like Spectrier to deal with, you have like an Urshifu Single Strike, you know, it's a lot to deal with. And then your fairy types are punished by these Corvin Nidoqueen pivots. It's just a well put together team. And this is something that
and
really...
Mega Slowbro on the bench, which...
Like, this season from Skyhorse, this is the season that made him, like, the 20k player for the next 5 years, you know?
Yeah.
And,
it is. It 100% is.
Yeah.
So... And yeah, there was a Mega Slowbro on the bench with this team, which also had its shining moments, and was probably a bitch to prep for.
Yeah, and I can talk a little bit...
Anything in the prep process you want to... Yeah, because I'm not going to play the audio over this because it would be a little bit confusing.
So this is basically my commentary over it as like looking back on the season at the time. But yeah. So one thing to note is that for a few years stretch actually, the team that drafted the most Rillabooms won DPL. And this is one of those seasons where
Yes.
we had multiple Rillabooms, and we were able to win the entire thing. But this is not even from the finals, this is from the semifinals. And I remember this game was probably one of my favorites. Not in terms of like the game was super crazy or anything, because looking back on it, you know, it was kind of not that crazy. It's a hard game for sure, because Spectre into no Ghost Resist, T-Spikes into no Grounded Poison, and then I don't have an Arctazil answer, but like, looking at, there's not anything like super impressive that I did. Like early game, I made a few doubles. You can like start looking through the game. I'm not gonna like go turn by turn or anything.
Okay.
But just talk about it.
Yeah.
But I made some smart doubles to get some Seismitoad turns early. Like I led off with it here, and then I was able to knock off the Urshifu, which meant that my Clef permawalls, and not only that, I got a Poison Touch on it. So Urshifu was like instantly out of the game. Then I was able to, you know, go Clef, double back to get rocks, and a Scald off on Nidoqueen. So it really opened up the early game, and then I was able to find winning lines basically. But the main thing about this game that I remember is after the game, this is the game that clinched us to go to finals, right? So there's no tiebreak that we have to go through. This is the game, we're going to finals. And I remember this was like truly a euphoric feeling. Like I was unironically fist pump in the air, you know, like let's go, I'm a beast, booyah, like all of that stuff. And it was just, I've never really quite recreated that feeling, because I've been in so many like high pressure situations for team tours. Like here's a fun fact, is that I haven't lost a tiebreak game since 2019. So like I'm pretty used to these high pressure games. Hey, let me just glaze myself real quick. But like this one in particular was like the first like really important game that I clinched. And so that feeling just stuck with me throughout all these years, and that's why I wanted to highlight this game in particular. A really tough game against a really tough matchup against a strong opponent, and I was able to clinch finals for my team. It was just poetic, you know?
Oh yeah, for sure. And like, it was an incredibly well played game on your part. Like, it was just very well methodically thought out. And even going through this vid, which I'll link it down in the description for those who do want to listen to 2021 L5 talk about this. Also keep in mind, this was prime COVID, guys, so none of us had lives, so that's probably also why it feels a bit better. But
this was like
the most COVID DPL.
This was late COVID, but I do remember I was jobless during this. So sometimes being jobless is the best thing you can do for your Pokemon career. Yeah. It just is what it is.
You're not wrong.
Yep.
Yeah. So I like it. Even it was just a case of you made sure that there was never an opportunity where like Spec could really come in freely, or like once that T-Spike was up, you also just managed it really well, which helped enormously. Like, yeah, you've Seismitoad, but at the same time,
here it reveals Specs, and I'm like, frick.
I mean, there's no
I couldn't do anything to prevent a KO, so
resist, like you said.
I just picked Seismitoad as my sack, basically, if it was Specs, and if it wasn't Specs, I could come in and knock off, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So, like, this happens, you go Rillaboom.
This was a crucial turn.
Grassy Glide button is Grassy Glide
Here
button.
is really important.
It was a 50-50.
Not really, though, because, like, it's a 50-50 in a sense, but, like, there's such big consequences for, like, knocking on the stay in. Like, I would just lose, you know? So, it's...
Yeah.
And for him, it's, like, not really worth the risk at all. And for that reason is why he takes the risk, because it's so obvious that you go Corv here. But I'll tell you, I had knock clicked for like maybe 35 seconds, and then I saw his timer going down, and I'm like, ooh, let me cancel that real quick, because he's thinking a lot for this turn. And then I just click glide, and he stays in. I'm like, oh my god, that could have been so bad.
Oh, 100%. Like, I guess there was also the element in his head of like, oh, is this another Assault Vest? Because he doesn't have a Ghost Resist, and like that would live at that point, so maybe he wanted the damage, but yeah. Because it's also like a case of, even if you do knock off or U-turn on Corviknight, you don't exactly have the freest of monsters go into and put pressure. So, but at the same time, this was such a massive turn, and Spec being dead just kind of means that you just kind of keep talking about it here. It's the biggest offensive piece dead.
Yeah, Thanos is gone.
Even though there is, scary Arctizolt.
Thanos has been slain.
But
it's okay, he still has like two more Thanoses.
Yeah. Well, seeing this bulk up core probably also explains why he stayed in, because he doesn't want... Like, if this was just defensive Rocky Helmet, he probably would have just went into it, but seeing that it's bulk up, probably power trip realistically, because of the Aegis Slash, like, that does kind of change things. We got the Drill Peck, doesn't kill. Noivern Goaded, as was the case when Gen 8 was current gen in DPL.
Goaded is a strong word. It had plenty of its haters, don't worry about it.
Hey, it won me a DPL Finals game. Like, the mod's bad, but I will forever love it, so... Yeah, Spadef Noivern might love it. So, you kill... So you don't quite... Hail gets up here, and you do just kind of have to pick your sack. And you are kind of just in that position where, even if it is just Icicle Crash, you still look relatively fine. Good God, you talk a lot in this video.
I'm a yapper. A lucky burn on the Arctizolt gives me an extra sack and a heal opportunity on my Clef. This was really big.
Exactly.
But obviously,
we're noticing
gotta
that
get lucky at some point.
L5 is lucky, which, to the surprise of nobody. Like, no wonder you lost to DD Steelix next game. I wonder why that's not
We can gloss over that one.
Yeah. Like I said, vid's in the description if you want to see L5 lose to a DD Steelix in 720p, because he didn't even record in 1080p.
And the crazy thing is, looking back on that game, I made 0 misplays. Like, that game in finals,
yeah, exactly.
Like, I played that perfectly, and I still lost to a DD Steelix. Like, I stand by that.
That's what makes it better. It's not like you fucked up. It's just that Abel's goated.
It's like the exact set. Like, it had to be the exact 4 moves with the exact EV spread. Otherwise, it wouldn't have won. Yeah, truly.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
A part of DPL history.
So we do see Hex Ninetales here because there's a free T-Spike and he hypnosis to one thing immune to T-Spike, and like Gallade just looks like Thanos here because it outspeeds everything unless the hail goes up, and once you force the hail dead, it's just kind of a problem. Especially since Zolt dies to hazards. Or was it Boots? I don't remember, was it Boots?
It was Boots.
Oh,
it was Boots substitute. Or not. Was it sub? Yeah. It might have been, no, it was Protect, which gets revealed this turn to make my Gallade die to hail and poison.
Oh, yeah. Because just to scout for Shadow Sneak, essentially, yeah.
Like, you can see this team was built around T-Spikes plus hail weakening stuff.
Yeah, for an Arctizolt endgame or a Spectria.
Yep.
So, you get the Shadow Sneak here, and pick that off, and in will come Urshifu, you imagine. But the thing is, this can't get through Clef.
Yep.
So, he had to go for the Iron Head Flinch there. It was his only way to win at that point, was getting the Iron Head Flinch, and then maybe Corv can do it.
Well, even then, he gets hit by Helmet twice and goes down in my Noivern sweeps.
Yeah.
There's really nothing he could do at this endgame.
Yeah. And then Noivern's just gonna taunt the Corv, and it's fairly handy enough. And like you said, this was the game that got Tangang into finals, and you ended up winning that finals, being your second DPL title.
Yeah, but also crucially, this is the first DPL championship that it felt like I earned. In Season 2, I was kind of backpacked by Count Riario and Dre. Like, those two just were absolute beasts. And I was just kind of there as, the captain, being like, hey, good job, guys. You did great.
Keep going, guys.
But then Season 4...
Just emotional cheerleader in the corner.
Season 4, I was the MVP of the league. I was playing really well throughout the whole thing. I'm really proud of this season.
Oh, 100%, as you should be. And this was definitely, given the odds that were a little bit stacked, at the time, people didn't really rate the team. Everyone just kind of came together, and it ended up being just one of those DPL teams that I think won't be forgotten about anytime soon, until people are just kind of like too old. And you also didn't get RHV momented, which is a big thing. For those that don't know, RHV moment stands for when Rocky Helmet for Zeons get lucky, which happened a lot, and it got Ian very triggered. Shout out to Ian. So,
oh yeah, well, I had my share of that. I think when we played them, if I'm remembering correctly, Pyronox was on that team, or maybe he was on a different team, but when I played
he did
Pyro,
luck you. Yes,
I did get hacked quite brutally, so
yes,
yeah. It can happen to anyone.
You got it done with the first time. That's... yeah. Oh, exactly. And it's still relevant in 2026. Not really. So then, that's your only Gen 8 game, because you honestly didn't play a lot of Gen 8, because kind of this time in Team Tours you were kind of playing a lot more Oris and things like that, until you decided, fuck this, I'm a little bit bored of Oris, let me go and play Modern Gen, which at the time was Gen 9. So we get to this game against Undead, and this is Draft League World Cup, the semi-finals. The tiebreak, from what I remember? Or is this the regular season?
This is the finals tiebreak.
No, I'm just saying, was this tiebreak? It was tiebreak.
So in the regular series?
This was semis, right?
No, this was finals, I believe. Or maybe it was semis, but either way, it was a tiebreak situation.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this was finals versus the US Northeast. If I'm wrong, I mean, who cares? We could just call it finals for more hype. For the sake of the video.
Who actually cares, yeah.
But so basically, this team, this is Terra Greninja. And so Terra Greninja was never seen before, and I helped put this on the map, and this is going to be part of a trend that you're going to see in the next few games.
Yes.
But so basically, in SV, I'm kind of known for finding these like next up Terra guys, and this time it was going to be Greninja. And for reference, in the pool stage of the World Cup, I had an 8-turn game where basically I got rocks up, I went Greninja, and I clicked Dark Pulse, and I won the game. So,
yes.
like Specs, Terra Dark, Modest, Battle Bond, and it just OHKO'd the entire team. So that kind of put Greninja on the map as a Terramon. People started spamming it in like the year following this. No one really had any success besides me, but yeah.
It won 2 seasons.
I mean, a little bit here and there, but for the most part, they were not.
One of them was in
super
spite of
impressive.
Terra Greninja more so than like because of Terra Greninja, but you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you definitely did have a trend that I was going to ask you about in terms of, you know, typically water types that you always just kind of found as underrated Terra captains and shot them into popularity.
There's also something interesting.
We'll get into one of them later.
Also something interesting with this team in particular, because I kind of stole the skeleton of this from Addison from her Wi-Fi League. The only difference was she had a Zamazenta crowned, and I have a Jirachi. So
that does help, yeah.
Outside of that,
these
though,
cores always look better with Zamazenta.
The top 4 is kind of the same. Yeah, a little bit. But like the Dio, the Gren, the D-Knight, these are all from that team, and the Swampert. And then I decided I wanted to try doing like a mini like defensive core of Swampert Jirachi, and I have Weezing for the matchups where I need it. And then outside of that, just stack offense, right? You have D-Knight as the emergency button with multi-scale and E-speed. Deoxys is faster than Scarfers. Like, you don't need a defensive backbone on this team, really. So just like a short-term flip turn, U-turn, rocks, and healing wish kind of thing. It's what I spam the entire season. And with this team, I was able to get the MVP of World Cup 1, ending with a 6-1 record. And, you know, we took home the chip. So this was another major tournament win for me, and this is the game in the finals. Tiebreak versus Undead. In the regular season, or not the regular series of the finals, I played Star Master, and I beat him with a Terra Lurantis. So,
yes,
there's always a little bit of fun in there, but we can get into the game now.
Yeah, exactly. And let's get into it. It's a pretty cool one, I will say that much. So Zapdos into Weezing. This looks god-awful for you, but you decide, I'm gonna take the Hurricane anyways.
Yeah, my Weezing was Spadef for Darkrai and Valiant, so I'm able to take the Pain Split trade. weaken the Zapdos, which is important for my Gren, and for my D-Knight, and for my Deoxys, so a really good chip on this Zapdos goes a long way. Now I get my rocks up as Gliscor comes in. I do have Psychic Noise here to prevent the Gliscor from healing. And I know this is going to be... I know it's going to be Terra normal, so I Side Noise into Aura Sphere. He goes, burns his Chople. Like, this is quite a good opening, right?
And trash talking in classic L5.
I love doing this. This is so fun.
Right? Yeah. Exactly. Like, bro, what are you doing? Yeah. And you can only do that because of the nasty L5 crit, which we've noticed in quite a few of these games. But you go into Spadef Swampert here, as Dark Pulse does 32, which is fine. And this Swampert decides to take a nap, but you're prepared for said nap because this set is diabolical.
This is a crazy set, But here, with the Sleep Water, now Spadef Weezing able to take this, no problem. Pretty sure I'm Pyapa Berry on this, and it just makes sense.
Yeah. Taunt to prevent rocks.
Bang!
Which clicks.
And now Zap comes in on rocks, crucially.
Which, interesting to see that it wasn't Boots in this game. Or not, like, did that calc a Sharpbeak early game? I don't honestly
I'm pretty sure this was Sharpbeak, yes.
Yeah, okay. So, you burned your second turn of sleep there with the Swampert. As Hurricane keeps missing, doing Hurricane things. As you get max sleep, which is unfortunate.
So you could say, like, Hurricane missing sucks for him, but I also got max slept, so, like, call it even, you know what I'm saying?
We see the Amnesia here, as he decides to go into Bronzong as his response to Amnesia, is you click Curse, even though this thing does get bulk up, which, sure. So you click Amnesia, as he gets up his rocks, thinking this thing is not a problem.
I'll just pretend it's to decrease Gyro Ball damage.
Yeah.
But really what it was is, I just didn't...
You did not know
I didn't know it got bulk up, but I knew it got Curse from seeing ADV.
Yeah.
Like, I was super into ADV OU at the time. And I was like, oh, Curse Swampert is so good there. And I looked at this match, like, Curse Swampert's kind of fire here. But I don't really need Earthquake, so I'll just put Rest Amnesia. Because once I'm Amnesia boosted, even with bad dreams, Darkrai is not able to break me. So, like, it's really good here. And then...
It's doing 9.
Yeah.
Liquidation, easy pickoff. And this just wins the game, unless the Blastoise is, like, Haze, which... Spoiler alert, it isn't.
Yeah, I really thought the Blastoise would be Shell Smash this game.
Cut into about 15 turns ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really expected Shell Smash. Or, you know, just, like, AV to deal with Gren. One or the other.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're gonna see a very funny turn here.
Phasing in this game. He tries the Destiny Bond to be cheeky, but the Liquidation doesn't kill.
Yeah.
Well, that sucks. I don't know why he didn't attempt to switch to pull it again, but okay, just sat the Valiant and the game is over. He just forfeits. So we never find out what the Blastoise was.
Yeah.
As you do say he had a good run, even though this game kind of proves otherwise.
Well, he did. He was I think he was undefeated going into this or something
he had a
like
great
it.
Season.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had a great season,
but of course,
then, Swampert decided, I'd win. So, no, it was just one of those games. Like, watching that live was one of the funniest things ever.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, the Swampert wins now.
And unfortunately, we didn't get to see the Gren do anything here, really. But Gren was really fantastic for me in this tournament. Just throwing that out there. It was great.
Yeah. And then it's just completely and utterly fallen off to the point of people don't really even draft Gren. Like, not even Terra Gren, regular Gren.
At all.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how that mon kind of reacts.
After this season, I was like, okay, regular Gren, he's like okay at best, but Terra Gren is kind of Thanos. Because what happens is, like, the Terra, like, defensive Terra sets really enable, like, Swords Dance Gren. And the Stab Terras really enable, like, Specs Battle Bond, Life Orb Battle Bond. You can go, like, Terra Stellar. There's, like, a lot of cool things you could do, because Gren's problem has always been its raw power, right? And with the Terra, you're able to get around that, either through, you know, getting Swords Dance opportunities, or through just boosting the damage of your Stab, you know? So it solves all of its problems. But maybe there's other Terramons that are even more broken. Yeah, that's definitely possible.
Which we'll get into. Which also might happen to be fighting types.
Oh, yeah.
No spoilers whatsoever.
True.
So, speaking of...
Now, this draft...
Here we go, let's get into...
This draft was the Mona Lisa.
Something. Yeah, this draft was something.
So we got quite ahead of the curve with this draft. We were able to get Meowscarada in the middle of round 1, and then Terrapagos round 2. And this is something you will never see again in the ever. Not only that, we were able to pair the Meowscarada with the Urshifu Rapid with Terra. This is what really put Urshifu on the map as well, because I was kind of wondering, and this is something that I've been thinking about a little bit more often, is with like other parts of the community, right? What do they consider broken? And there's a whole section of the community that just straight up bans the Urshifus because they think they're way too broken. And so I was
that
like...
includes Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
Yeah. But that's mainly what I was referring to. So if they think Urshifu is like not even allowable, and then on this board it's like 14 points with Terra, sure, sign me up. I'll take a swing. And turns out that Terra Urshifu is just literally God and beats every single team ever. You're gonna see like this game in particular is kind of the classic Urshifu Rapid set of Spadef, Swords Dance, Terra Electric, and that set just
with Punching Glove.
Yeah, with Punching Glove. It 6-0s every single team I've ever seen. It's like really rare that you want to bring anything other than that exact set, which, you know, makes it somewhat predictable, but like what can you even do about it, you know? So it's one of my favorite mods in that aspect. This also kicked off the Terrapagos like run that I had, where I was drafting Terrapagos like everywhere. Like I think I used Terrap for like 4 out of the next 5
have to be forced to
seasons of Mons that I played.
Things you did.
It's I've been spamming this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And like, to be fair, we could have picked multiple games from this season. Like, this was a fairly strong season for you.
Yeah, this was an MVP season from me.
You didn't get...
I ended top of the standings with a chip here, so yeah, MVP. Yeah. The doc is broken. If you look back on it, it tells you I went 5-3, which is just wrong. But I promise I was number 1 on the standings.
I'm pretty sure it's right. Because you lost to us twice. So, you know, I'm not tooting my own horn or anything. You know, yes, you did.
Yeah.
And to be fair, this was also the team where, for those that might have seen a certain other video on my channel, where this was the season that I decided to start gambling with this man and failing horrendously. Because I thought that Ogerpon Tiamat would do better than Zarude because of a decision we made for our own Iron Valley draft that went horribly wrong. Like, that team was not good. That ended up with a Terra Hitmonchan on it somehow, and we made fucking playoffs. So yeah, Terra Zarude kind of popped off. The Sage team is one that kind of comes to mind, and this was also another fantastic SV draft that she had. Like, it was basically just Urshifu, and then you had Healing Wish for pick whatever one of those first 3 months to be like, oh, let's do this again.
It was always Urshifu. So, let's keep it a buck.
Oh yeah, it was. I think it might have been Terrapagos a couple times.
Yeah, for the most part, though.
But it was Urshifu. Shock.
Yeah.
So let's get into this game here.
All right.
Between yourself and Habita, which this was a season of all time from Habita, which he had like good games, but it just didn't quite seem to click for him. So you get rocks up here. Terrapagos a better rock.
Yeah, I think it was a probably right. This season from Haba was, I think, a team issue in terms of like drafts. Like this draft did not do him any favors. But crucially, you'll notice here that the Rotom actually outsped my Terrapagos, which is actually hitting a pretty similar speed stat to my Urshifu. So in the back of my head, I know this Rotom, while not guaranteed, probably will outspeed my Urshifu. That's important for later. Right here.
So you keep spamming Terra Stars.
Yeah, and with the light screen up, this reveals to be an offensive Iron Crown. I go into my Moltres, which is Max Spadef, by the way, and that's Spec Psychic here. So I'm able to pivot out to my Latios. And now, with the light screen going down, it's a free Draco, because the Draco resist is in front of me locked into Psychic. So I actually get the Roaring Moon for free.
Exactly. Yeah, I think this was probably too aggressive a play by Haba because of the fact that, you know, like you said, the Dragon resist is locked into Psychic. But Same time, huge play from you, and this just kind of puts you in the driver's seat immediately after a little bit of an unfortunate start. Just with that Rotom kind of putting in the absolute finest. All it was missing was Eerie Impulse to really rub it in. So you go Klefki on the turn, because this is going to be Terraflying, Terra Blast, not Specs though, which is good. As we find out, T-Wave procs the Lum as Heat Wave kills.
Yeah.
Meaning this thing might be a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, I'll note this was an absolute
Except
max
this
roll on
is
my
the
Klefki. I
Urshifu
hate
set,
him for
yeah.
doing that. How could he do this to me? Like, actual 6%
And
roll.
then you just click. Oh,
Yeah.
terrible behavior. As Self-Destruct does 47. He goes back into the Choice Specs Iron Crown, which I wonder what button he's clicking. Is you could just sack Terrapagos for free here, just in case he did get aggressive and click Tachyon.
Yeah, which he did,
As
right?
now this just gives you... Yeah, exactly. So you get the light screen up here, as that just completely bounces. As you get a second screen up, and I wonder what your next click's going to be. I wonder. He goes Torn. Wow, how surprising. He clicked Healing Wish into his Urshifu. What riveting gameplay, guys.
Yeah, and this is like the super dangerous situation. Here he has Taunt, which is like game saving, because otherwise I Sword Stance and I completely sweep the entire game. But here I Surging Strikes. This was a little bit of a silly play. I should have Drain Punched, because the Rotom coming in is like the only play that saves him with the faster Pain Split. But either way, he's gonna waste all my screen turns now.
Is doing a lot though, so...
I hate that.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're still kind of soloing this thing because Drain Punch is doing too much and Pain Split isn't getting enough. At the same time, there's still not a lot that can really revenge you. You click SD because you're like, ugh. As he gets a sacrificial light screen off, and you're back at 53, so you're kind of back in a similar position where you were before, except now you don't have a Latias. So you go hard Masquerade on the Psychic, and this just is really good here.
And then here I called a switch out.
Accepted.
But here, this might be a little bit of a fortunate miss in some way.
Yeah, except it's actually fortunate because
he attempts to save
the
it.
only one that actually could have taken one. Yeah. And Iron Crown goes down. Now he goes into Torn thinking, oh, I probably live this.
This is choice banded, bro.
And he dies.
This just kills everything. Like, this is something about this team that he had where the only resist to Fairy is Iron Crown, and the only resist to Normal is Iron Crown, and the only resist to Dragon is Iron Crown. So, like, my game plan here was just overwhelm it, and I was able to do so. Especially with it being Specs, right? Which was scary for me defensively, but really opened up this kind of line.
Yeah, and this was just kind of the way this draft was in general. Like, it was quite formulaic from your part for a lot of it. Like, you used early game Terrapagos. There was very few times you actually did bring Calm Mind because you typically did rely on that Wincon Urshifu of the same set.
Yeah.
And everything just kind of played its part, was very complimentary, and Masquerade does what Masquerade does best in terms of just cleaning up games. So, and this was yet another Team Tour chip from you. This one back in the captaincy seat, which I believe was your third as a captain. Is that right?
Sorry, maybe you cut out there. What was that?
Was this your second or third as a captain in terms of Team Tour championships?
This was my fourth, I think.
Oh God. Which one
is it?
So you've a DCL, a DPL, a Clash. Have you 2 Clashes at this point?
Oh no, it would be my third as a captain because Tangang wasn't a captain. Yeah.
Yeah.
In World Cup.
Tangang wasn't a captain. Neither was. Yeah. So, still though, that is incredibly impressive. Like, that's actually... Because we were talking about this recently in terms of, does anyone get close to it? And I think Team Tour-wise, the answer is no.
Yeah.
Like, it's just...
I think I do have more than anyone else.
Yeah. Which, you know, this is why we have you on this series, because you do have one hell of a resume. So it's like, it's cool to kind of go back through these. So. And then we've one last game here, which is from something you didn't win.
Oh, whoa.
Which I think is the only case in this video. Whoa, saving the worst till last. And this is another Gen 8 game, the only Galadex draft game here. And this was another tiebreak, from what I remember. TPL semis.
This was...
where you took on Craig.
Yeah, Draft Premier League Season 9. And I was on Zero Fox Given as a captain with Genius X. So us two were in tiebreaks alongside Gypsy King. And now,
yeah, the scariest tiebreak on paper,
literally,
of, ever.
Like, how can you lose, right? And so in this series, I was playing against 100p.
Yeah.
Okay, we can gloss over those.
Renowned for.
But this is probably the game most recently that comes to mind when I think of like really, really good prep on my part. So Craig is a kind of like the kind of player where he has two main modes he likes to spam. One of them is HO with like screens, like hazard stack screens, just win the game really quickly. The other way he likes to play is toxic stall. And so here, I tried to be ready for both of them, and he ended up bringing the toxic stall variant of his, like, the way he plays. And so, to directly counter that out, you'll see in the game, I won't spoil it right now, but it's a grand reveal.
I'm not going to either. It's game ending.
Yes.
And also, just to state this for people that don't know, Craig's record in tiebreaks is absolutely fantastic.
Many are saying this,
but, let's let's hop into this game here.
Well, I have specially defensive Lando to counter out the opposing Lando plus Lando, or Lando plus Raikou. Sorry. Here I just set up rocks turn 1. He reveals Toxic Protect Steela. This will be important later. But so Toxic Protect, I U-turn out into my Mandibuzz, and my Mandibuzz is like 0 IV slow, so I can get a slow U-turn on Leech Seeds. And you're gonna see it actually comes into play later. But here it's a pretty free knockoff. Nothing really wants to take this, and if Lando wants to come in, I'm perfectly okay with this losing its Life Orb, or in this case Rocky Helmet. Now I'm going to hard switch Keldeo before Rocks, which is important because of certain damage rolls. If you can pause for a second here, so I can explain something. Sure. So Keldeo, my HP investment is to live a Raikou hit at full, but after I take Rocks, it's like a roll. So I wanted to be at full HP, and there's like really no great water resist on their team. So like the Quillfish comes in, takes 41, and that's like max Spidef Quillfish because I'm Specs Keldeo. But yeah, that's why I went in before Rocks and why it was important. I think it's worth noting.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And also, just going back, he did click EQ going to the Mandibuzz because he expected you to go into AG expecting another Toxic. Like, there's just all these sorts of layers of... And this is why we enjoy draft, folks.
Now here so I surf again. He misses a T-Wave, which is really crucial in the moment, right? Really sucks for him. But hey, lucky and good, what can I say?
So does every... Yeah, I was about to say, did every single game in this video, did you get lucky?
I mean, you have to get a little bit lucky, right?
Yeah, I think you got lucky in every single game in this video, except the undead one, like, doesn't really matter. I guess Hab too, but yeah, every non-Gen 9 game. Let's keep this narrative going, guys.
Yep. Now, I'm pretty sure I would have been able to win this no matter what if that hit, because he's still giving up a Pokemon here, and there's the grand reveal in the back. I'm sure some of you may have guessed it at this point.
Yeah, the way I think we're not exactly being the most subtle when it comes to what it might be.
But here, like I said, Keldeo can live a Raikou hit from full, so I'm just going to take that opportunity to fire for Spec Surf as he clicks Scald, right? And that is going to put me in range of T-Bolt, so I'm going to get out of there now. But that damage was really big for stuff like my Aegislash, which is Swords Dance Shadow Sneak as a win condition. Now I go Lando on the Volt Switch. Is this the part where I start, in the chat, fries in the bag, please.
Yes.
You turn out on the Steela into my Specs Keldeo. Something has to take this massive hit. I goes for Protect for some Burn Chip, that's fine. But now Mew comes in.
Taking that set hit is gonna be Mew.
Just trying to take that hit, not able to do so. Specs Keldeo just too strong.
Back in a Raikou, and it's the 50-50 again. Obviously gonna try aggro, click Scald. You decide, I don't care, I'm going Mandibuzz.
On the Shadow Ball.
Turns out to be
Beast
godly
mode.
on the mid-ground.
So at this point, I didn't really need my Mandibuzz anymore. I felt pretty confident with my offensive pieces. I just go for a knockoff. I get a leftovers. And here, you're going to see the slow Mandibuzz able to prevent the Scrafty from being slower and like fighting moving on my Roost, for example. So slow Mana Buzz gets the momentum into my Tapu Lele. This is going to force this into Celesteela, quite obviously.
Yeah.
Because you definitely need this Scrafty.
What do you think would be the thing to end this game in one turn, Mr. King L5? What would cause Craig to just completely be like, fuck this? Like, right now.
Oh, maybe a T-Bolt on the Celesteela. Maybe like Calm Mind into Life Orb T-Bolt would just win. That seems pretty hard for him.
Yeah, but it's healthy enough though. It should live and just heavy slam it back, right? So I don't know. But the game does end next year.
Let's find out.
And that is because of... There we go.
Bang.
No prizes there for what it was. As we see this giant wall
I just
of
healed
text
my
and
entire
Craig decides,
team.
Fuck this. Yeah. And just going over this L5 shit talk. Zing, take us home. Words that age like fine wine. I'd say just like the mocks, but the mocks were harder.
Yes.
Except you said horror.
The aura's gone.
The aura was all gone.
My keyboard was having issues at the time.
God, don't we all hate... Yeah. See, my keyboard would have had the opposite issue of I'd probably
that
have
would have
like
been so
6
tough.
ors at the end for no reason. Yeah, it would have been.
Yeah.
But to be fair, this game was tough in the first place. Like you completely prepped for the toss.
This was really great. And then unfortunately,
it's just completely over.
My glorious king, Gypsy King, lost to a Calm Mind Aloe, and then Genius X choked on like dicks, basically.
Multiple
we didn't make
dicks.
finals, and our opponents went on to win the chip. But I did my part, you know. So I'm happy with this.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's nice that we kind of have a lot of different DPLs represented here, which is quite cool, especially as we go into DPL Season 10, which I imagine you're going to want to take some time to kind of talk about here. So the floor is yours on such a momentous occasion coming up pretty damn soon.
Yeah, if I'm plugging anything, it's going to be DPL Season 10, with Champions releasing, at the time we're recording, in 5 days. We've decided to put Captain Apps out on the same day Champions drops, which is going to put our auction date at early May. So I'm really excited for that. We're going to have the new format, all the old formats still. It's going to be a really great event. I'm looking forward to it quite heavily. The other thing that I'm going to plug is my own channel, obviously. I'm going to do some more streams. I've been covering DWL for the past few months, so those kind of streams are now going to be focused on DPL. All sorts of stuff. I mean, yeah, check it out if you're interested.
Back.
Are we bringing Pick'ems back?
I love the way he's plugging his own channel.
I don't know. Who's to say?
Did Dougal ever get his coaching session?
He never claimed it, no. I guess I could plug that as well. If you're interested in coaching, I do some of that on the side.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Haven't seen it for a while.
Yeah. I haven't posted the most recent ones to like be public, but...
Oh, fair. Yeah, 100%. Like, DPL Season 10 should be a lot of fun. I will be back in some capacity. Probably not captaining because a certain someone ruined my plans, but I'm not going to spoil that on camera.
Ah, dang it.
And maybe I'll tell you later. But no, it should be a lot of fun. This will be out before that auction date is, so I will leave the DPL links and all that fun stuff, as well as 2L5's channel. But
sure.
This channel's 100 times bigger than mine. So
100 times? Surely
not.
Well,
no, it's only 10. It's only 10 these days. Yeah. I think it was 100 as of the last time you were on this channel.
Maybe.
So, and my final question to you, Mr. King L5, who would you like to see next throwing it back and recalling through
Throwing it back? Whoa.
Throwing it back. It is TJ's Throwbacks, yeah. I gotta have some sort of tagline, don't I?
Who would be a good one for this? I feel like you could definitely dip into the Wi-Fi side for some of this with like Addison. That would be a really fun story to look back on.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. She is down on the list of people to...
There we go.
So, 100%. Like, this is the sort of thing that I want. I kind of want to get a right balance between like the Wi-Fi side of things as well as the PS side of things, because at the end of the day, they're two very different experiences, and this series is all just about getting the stories. And you know, I will gladly take that as just kind of a nice place to do podcasty things and take a trip down memory lane, because everyone likes to call me old, which
You are.
I'll take that.
You're
older than me.
okay, we can both be old. Like, it's not
we're both
mutually
old.
exclusive.
Yeah, no. Yeah. No, you're right. I was just trying to save some face there, man.
Yeah, you good.
So, I hope you guys all enjoyed this being episode 2 of TJ's Throwbacks, and once again, let me know what you think in terms of this new format with Facecam and things like that. Because I'm still kind of trying to figure out the best way for this to look. So hopefully this was a bit cooler than just kind of staring at YouTube videos the whole time. So thank you once again, L5, for joining me. I do appreciate it.
All right.
And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.